So in this video, I want to talk to you about the benefits of partnering with CPAs and attorneys, right? To start with why. That's what Simon Sinek had said. Start with why, because I believe that if more financial advice professionals truly knew the benefits of the partnerships, they'd spend much more time developing the skills in this area, right? Because they're just skills that need to be developed, but because you're so busy, because there's so many things that we have on our plate, then oftentimes certain things in our lives, in our business especially, get put to the side. How many can you relate to what I'm saying? So we're going to really focus in this video on the benefits of the partnership. So the first benefit that I want to talk to you about is that this is the best way to attract high net worth clients. All right, now this was said not by me, but one of the top managers, market leaders at Wells Fargo, who used to be the business development director at Merrill Lynch years ago. They interviewed all of the financial advisors that were at a certain level of production and above, and they basically just kind of interviewed them and find out what are they doing, right? And one of the keys that they all said, most of them said, was that working with CPAs and other centers of influence, receiving those referrals from those trusted advisors was a huge lift. In fact, this is the best way to attract high net worth clients. So that's what was said. And if you look at the average income or net worth or assets under management, if you will, of a client that gets referred by, let's say, a CPA to you as a financial advisor, then you'll start to see 500, 750,000, a million and above. Those types of clients typically come from CPAs. Why? Because you're only going to deal with a CPA if you have a certain level of income, right? So it just makes sense that these people that work with estate attorneys, people that work with CPAs, typically are at a certain income level and they're higher net worth clients that come your way. So benefit number one is that it's the best way to attract high net worth clients. All right, number two, it's better than traditional methods. All right, so what are the methods that we all know of growing our business, or really growing any kind of business, but especially as financial advisors? Cold call, BNI groups, networking events, cold calling or cold emailing via LinkedIn. Again, all these can work, but if you remember what happened a few years ago, y'all remember that evil thing called the coronavirus, COVID? Do you see what happened when that pandemic came across the world? Things shut down. Your business shut down, unfortunately, right? Not getting into politics or anything like that, but the reality is it was a challenging time and you couldn't operate business the way you were used to, right? So you couldn't even get around people. So how are you going to network? How are you going to even develop those kind of relationships? But for those of you that have CPA and attorney relationships, right? Let's say that already had existed. Well, can't you see how you could still be getting referrals, still be growing your business, even during that time of shutdown? All right, so this is much more effective than traditional methods of cold calling. Why? Because trust, right? When you cold call someone, they don't trust you. When you make that initial approach, they don't. Why would they refer business to you and therefore end up helping grow your business, right? But if you establish warm connections and relationships with these CPAs and attorneys, then they're going to send clients your way, right? Because the trust is there. And so it's much more effective than trying to grow your business by either A, a cold approach, or B, with people that you already know and trust. All right, and we talk about how to get in front of and start the relationships with CPAs and attorneys, but this is an organic business of referrals that come to you. All right, so that's so the second way is it's more effective than traditional methods. Now, reason number three, all right, leverage. The benefits of the partnership. CPAs and attorneys is leverage. Now, what do I mean by that? Now, when you're presenting an idea to a client, and maybe it's a complex strategy, maybe it's a new strategy, if that client or if that CPA, the CPA of that client, or even the attorney of that client, if they agree with what you say, and the client asks them their opinion, well, your idea has a much greater chance of success with that client in moving forward, right? You can only use it as leverage. The fact that you know that CPA, and even have them included in the idea, that's leverage for you. All right. Also, let's say even if maybe you're new in the business, right, and you know maybe you're young, right, but you happen to have 2 or 3 CPA connections. Maybe they have more experience, maybe 20, 30 years experience, and you connected with them. Well, guess what? When they send clients to you, right, even though you're younger, the client is more apt to listen to them. Leverage. Okay? Also, every CPA knows attorneys, and attorneys know CPAs, right? Leverage those relationships to introduce yourself, to get to know others, right? This is a huge, I don't have time to go into this one point, but there's so many ways you can leverage these relationships, all right? So that's reason number 3. The 4th relationship, and this is one of my favorites, better service to client. You can better serve them. Now, I know many of you, if I asked financial advisors, are you client focused, right? Are you client centered? And we're all going to say yes, especially like the brochures that are on, you know, that your firm that you work at, the brochures all tell you that clients focus this, client centered that, and they're designed for these clients to read, right? It's brochureware, if you will. But the reality is, if you're truly client serviced or centered, and you want to give the best service to clients, wouldn't you want to know what that client's CPA is telling them, what their attorneys are telling them, right? Wouldn't you want to be able to refer an attorney when your client asks for a good one, right? Same thing with a CPA. So if you're gonna have more partnerships if you're truly trying to serve the clients for those reasons that I just mentioned. All right, it goes without saying. All right, so that's reason number 4. Now, reason number 5: increase referral potential. Increase potential, right? Increase referral potential. It's gonna increase your chance of getting referrals, and I'm going to be specific here. What I mean is that, so if you have multiple partnerships with multiple CPAs, multiple centers of influence, multiple attorneys, not just 1 or 2, they may only have 1 or 2 times a year to actually refer you business. So if you've got one relationship, well, maybe you get a referral in September, or maybe one comes in March and you never get one for the rest of the year. Or maybe you get 2 from that one individual, right? So if you have multiple partnerships, just by the law of numbers, don't you think you should be able to see more frequent, more consistent referrals? All right, so reason number 5 here is that it's going to increase your potential to receive referrals by having multiple partnerships, okay? And then also, number 6, benefit number 6 is credibility. All right, now this is similar to the leverage aspect, but I'll hone on it again here, because when you can say you have partnerships, when you have a new client that comes in and you're getting to know them, and you can tell them that, look, I work with multiple CPAs in the area, multiple attorneys in the area, we do this as a practice. Look at how credible you appear in the eyes of that individual, right? I mean, remember, they're just getting to know you. I mean, you might be polished, you might have the suit and tie on, and that's fine, right? But there's something about when you can say, you know what, we work with a lot of CPAs in the area. Think about what that communicates. That communicates that you're concerned about clients, right? You're concerned about taking the extra step to getting to know your clients' professionals, right? And it's going to increase your credibility with the things that you say has more credence, if you will. All right, and again, especially if you're a newer advisor where you're trying to grow your business. Again, if you have these partnerships, right, and you tell these potential clients and even referrals that come your way, hey, we work with CPAs such as this. In fact, let me introduce you, right? Get them in the room even. But it makes your words, it makes what you're presenting even that much more credible. Okay? So that's reason number 6. And then finally, the moment that we've all been waiting for. Increase production. All right, now I never like to say it's about money, but the reality is it takes money to live in this country. All right, so, and you're watching this right now because you want to learn how you can grow business so you can increase your income, right? So if you have a handful of CPA relationships, right, then that's obviously, and that refer you business, obviously that's going to increase your production. So just take a moment and just think about, and this is an exercise that I do in our trainings, our group trainings all the time. We go over this in our mastery group as well. We talk about, if you look at the average client that comes from a CPA, and we typically have around 750,000, give or take, of investable assets. Now, if you're in insurance, that is going to play out a little bit different. But I want you to think about how much income, on average, if a client came to you and they had 750,000 in assets, let's just say $1 million in assets, right? Your typical strategy, what type of income or commission or revenue would that typically generate for you? Right? If you earn 1% off assets, or if you have a typical model where you get credit for certain production that you typically put clients in a certain kind of model, whatever the commission structure would be. Again, it's going to range, but I want you just to imagine, for yourself, what that client would be worth to you, essentially, in that initial year. Okay? So think about that. Now, I want you to multiply that by 10. We'll keep it simple. One referral, 750,000, or let's just say $1 million. 10 referrals, 10 million. How about that? Now, 10 million in new assets. How much income would that mean? What would that mean for you from an income standpoint? I want you to think about these numbers, all right? Because the reality is, if you can generate 3, 4, 10, 15 partnerships that are referring you billions or millions in a year, maybe even billions, right? I want you to think about how much that would increase your production by having these higher net worth clients. All right. So with that, I really hope this helped you out. Go to our website, CLJ Advisory, and look into our COI Mastery Group, and we'll see you on the next time. Best of luck to you.